Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. I am Psychic Bella Love. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because I have been sitting here doing back-to-back pre-recorded videos, and so I will have a bunch coming up, and also we will be resuming going live in April, and we will be doing that on Saturdays going forward. So check the community tab for announcements on when that will be. So we're going to take a look at Chloe Bailey's career because it just seems like whatever she does, it's not kind of sticking, and everybody was so super excited about her, myself included, and everything just kind of falls flat, and it makes me a little bit sad for her. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so let's see what Spirit and the cards have to say about her and this situation. So, and if you are a part of my Patreon, you know I already gave some suggestions on what she should do to kind of help things along. And if you wanted to join the Patreon, that is the only place that I do requested videos. We also go live every week. I have special guests that come in and do lives with us as well. For self-improvement type things. We talk about spirituality, the Illuminati, history, religion, all kinds of stuff over there, and all of that content stays over there. I don't post it there first and then bring it over here later. So if you wanted to join, that information will be linked in the description box below, as well as my Instagram and my backup channel. When I do sales, I tend to post about them on my Instagram first, and we will eventually do all of our lives on the backup channel. And we went live a few weeks ago, just hung out. That was really fun. So thank you to everybody who joined us for that. And I will be posting content over there starting next month as well. So let's see what Spirit and the cards have to say about Miss Chloe Bailey. First and foremost, one of my suggestions in Patreon was fire Beyonce in Parkwood and get Matthew Knowles on the line, because listen, I know everybody hates Joe Jackson Jr., but he wasn't making his daughter roll around on the floor in a thong all the dang time and over-sexualize herself. He was keeping her from that stuff, you know, and not that he's the best person in the entire world, but there's a reason why they had to get her away from him so that she could be under the control of Jay-Z and the rest of the industry. And then that's where we got Sasha Fierce and a whole different side of her. If you're in the Patreon, you know who Sasha Fierce is. So, really is. But, you know, it's just, he's the one that got the girl where she was. And so I was like, yeah, Chloe, you might get yelled at a lot, but you might have a better shot at things, right? So, you know, this is the thing. Chloe is feeling very much like she has been lied to by a lot of people that are around her. Like, oh, we're going to let you do this, and we're going to let you have all this control. And she doesn't have as much control over her music, over her sound, over her image, over any of the things that she thought she was going to. But because she's locked into a contract and she's under the tutelage of, you know, Beyonce and then, you know, by connection to him, Jay-Z, and they are two of those power players in the industry, Spirit saying that she's really scared to speak up for herself. She's scared to try to fight back against any of it. She also feels like, you know, because I am so new still into this and into my solo career, like, you would blackball me or ruin any chances that I had at any sort of career with this if I, you know, put a foot wrong. And so Spirit saying that her mental health is really taking a toll because of all this. Because a lot of the stuff that she's being told to do, a lot of the outfits that she's wearing, a lot of the songs that she's being forced to put out or influenced to make are not what she would have chosen for herself. And the constant comparisons that people give her, you know, to Beyonce, it does get under her skin, because it's like, I'm not trying to be her. I'm being forced to be that way. And she is starting to wonder, because there's rumors, you know, that go around that, in a sense, you know, Beyonce signed her because it was like, okay, well, I'll make some money off of you guys, but then I also control and hold on to you. So that way, because the real mini-me is obviously going to be blue. And that way, like, when my daughter is ready to be put into a position to come up behind me, then I, you know, have these girls locked down and locked away, and they can't put up any sort of competition against her. And so she's starting to wonder if maybe some of that is true. And it's really getting to her. I mean, we've got the 7 of Cups here with the 5 of Swords. It's like, I was so happy about having this opportunity, and now it's not what I thought it was going to be, and people aren't being honest with me, and it's not working out well for me. So she wants to go back to the drawing board, but obviously, because this other album is already recorded and they're putting everything in play, it's like, okay, I have to make the best of it. But it's not what she wants. To be honest with you, what Spirit's saying is her heart's desire at this point in time is to find herself a man that she can see as her protector, who's gonna love her, who is gonna be the one that kind of like takes control over things and stands up for her and helps her find her way either out of the industry completely or help her find a place in the industry that she feels safe in. And she's already thinking, you know, that she would like to have a family. And there is a part of her that thinks, maybe I could just go off and get married and have kids and just act and, you know, sing a song for a soundtrack. Like, that's a life I'm okay with as well. Because she really kind of is at this point where Spirit's saying, especially if this album doesn't go well for her, we may find Chloe gets pregnant with somebody that she comes across. Because there is the possibility of a pregnancy showing up in here. And that family card confirming it, that it's more than creativity and it's more about building a life with somebody else and finding that as her escape from the, you know, unhappiness that she's seeing in this situation in the industry. She knows also what Spirit's saying is she has this feeling inside that her sister's career is going to go better than hers at this time, especially once Hallie does start to put out her own music. And it's not jealousy, but more so she's being given the opportunities to be more of who she is than I am. And if she does so much better than me, then people are just going to use that as something else to come after me for. She doesn't have a super thick skin. But she doesn't feel jealousy towards her sister. She just knows this is not, you know, it's something else that people are going to hold against me. There is a relationship coming her way that she needs to be careful about, because this guy is showing up as the Knight of Cups. He feels like a smooth talker, a love bomber. Oh my God, Chloe, I'm going to give you everything that you wanted. And this feels like this could be the guy that I see that pregnancy, you know, being a possibility of happening with. But he's not who she thinks that he is. It's not all sunshine and happiness here. It's once I've got you where I want you, here comes the Tower card. Cheating, being horrible to you, trying to control you. And it does feel like it's one of those things where, I hate to say it, but it's like people around her getting this sense that she wants to leave the industry, where she doesn't want to be so over sexualized, so like in everybody's faces. She wants to go in a different direction, and they want to get control over her again. So they send in somebody as a handler, so to speak, disguised as a lover. And he'll whoop your butt into shape and get you to do what we want. And he's doing everything at the direction of us, but you don't see it that way. Which happens quite a lot to these stars. When it isn't as complete, everybody's on the same page setup. Sometimes it is. We sent a specific person in because they were going to control you because you weren't listening to the other people that were trying to handle you. Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber are a good example of that. You weren't doing everything that Scooter Braun wanted, so he used Hailey to try to control you, but that's not exactly working out. So, you know, I feel, unfortunately, a situation like that may be on the horizon for her. She needs to be really careful with that. What Spirit's suggesting, you know, she would be better off to take a step back from music right now anyways, because it's not working out the way that she wanted it to. Again, people aren't responding to it well. The album will do okay. It's not going to do the best. You know, it's going to be like all of her other singles that she's put out so far. It makes a little bit of noise, and then everybody moves on and forgets that it even happened. Forgets that, you know, she even put out anything, and then they're on to something else. And, you know, I said this in my Patreon because everybody's like, I don't understand who her core audience is supposed to be. And that's true, because it's like younger girls are having a harder time relating to that because they're like, I'm not super sexy like that. And, you know, people my age are just looking at her like an auntie in shock. Like, oh, girl, put some clothes on. Like, and it's not because anybody wants to hold her back. It's just because it doesn't come across as natural. It comes across as overly forced. It comes across as, you know, a little girl that's trying to be taken seriously, but she's doing it by dressing and acting a way that she's not, rather than just embracing who she is at this moment in her life and letting that shine through for people instead. And so because of that, you know, it's like people don't really respond well to it, which you can't blame them. You know, every human matches energy in a sense. And so we don't match or feel that energy. It doesn't feel authentic. So it's like, don't want to engage. So, excuse me. The thing is, Spirit saying she'd be better off, again, like I said, to take a step back from music and pour herself back into acting. I suggested that she did what Sweetie did, because Sweetie built up such a fan base for herself by being so interactive with people, doing the YouTubes, doing the mukbangs. Queen Naija did that, you know, and while they may not be #1 streaming artists all of the time, people still support the both of them. Queen Naija is a pretty big fan base that it's like she doesn't have to be #1 mainstream artist, but she still is able to connect to people and sell her music and anything else that she has putting out, because people got to know her as a person and built a parasocial relationship off of that. And that would do so much better for Chloe, because especially if you're somebody that's just walking in and you didn't know her previously, like me or other people like me, it's just like, okay, she's cute, but like, who is she and why do I need to care? And the song isn't really hitting, so like, I don't know why I'm supposed to like be a big fan of hers and support her like that. So it's missing that mark of building up that genuine fan base. I mean, that's what Nicki did that really served her so well. She was so freaking interactive with the Barbs on Twitter and MySpace and really built up that fan base for herself before she ever even signed her deal. And that's a big reason why she sold so much immediately and why she had so much hype around her. So something like that, where people really get to see Chloe for Chloe and get to know who Chloe is, then when you listen to the songs, it's like, I know so much about you, or I know enough about you that I see where you're coming from with these lyrics and why you would choose this song. And it makes you more connected to things. And so Spirit is saying, you know, that's something that she needs to do, is work on finding that tribe, building that fan base. And by doing more acting and even doing behind the scenes, life on the set, little like blogs and things like that would really help to garner some more fans and to kind of reset, if that makes sense. Because right now, all she's going to do is just find herself fighting and fighting to stay afloat in this industry. And she's going to not have a space for herself in it if she doesn't do something to change that. But again, it isn't her, it's the management that has misled her and taken her down this path, you know, so we're not blaming Chloe for this, but they're not doing a good job with her. And that's the sad thing about it. And like I said, it's just, she's going to have to put in a lot of work to change things around that, because she keeps coming up as not only the Queen of Cups, but having this real struggle within herself and not being happy with the way that things are moving for her. You know, because like I said, she doesn't have a super thick skin and they're trying to force her to be something that she is not. So let's put some prayers up for her. You know, it's not easy to be in this industry anyways. It's not easy when they make you sell your soul to Satan and become something that you're not, and include all that symbolism and things, you know, and that's a big reason why she's having such issues with her parents, because they don't agree with the direction that she's going, when she feels like, but you don't understand that I didn't have a choice either. So I'm sorry that you feel like I'm embarrassing you by this, but like, you don't know the extent that I'm being pushed to do this and what I'm really afraid of. That's where Spirit's saying that whole not getting along thing is going on, and they're saying Hallie is trying to kind of play mediator in that, but she's also kind of not, if that makes sense. It's like I am if things come up or if things are said, but I'm not overly poking my nose in it because I don't want to make the situation worse either. So oh, I feel so sad for Chloe. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end that right here. What do you think is the reason why people aren't responding to her? You know, do you think like the over-sexualized stuff is too much? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being sexy. There's nothing wrong with embracing that you're a beautiful person and that you have a nice body and all that. But, you know, it's just when she was singing the Nina Simone songs, rolling around on the floor, licking the microphone when it didn't go with that song. It's things like that where it's just like, you can be extra when it's called for, but then there's other times where it's not. And because she has such a beautiful voice and she is so incredibly talented, the antics take away from that. It's like, you don't have to do the Cardi B over the top stuff because you actually have talent to back it up, whereas Cardi doesn't. So she needs to do things like that to get people's attention on her. And I think that that's where, you know, a lot of the disconnect happens, because people are like, I came to listen to Chloe, not witness things that are making me feel uncomfortable because I don't know what the hell is going on and this doesn't match the vibe, if that makes sense. That's my opinion, but let me know what you guys think. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. If you made it this far, leave an umbrella emoji. Let's all free Tory Lanez and remember that there is an innocent man in jail right now and a little boy who doesn't have his daddy. Put up the likes on the video, leave your comments, subscribe if you wanted to book your own personal private reading. Join the Patreon, follow me on Instagram, the backup channel, all that good stuff will be linked in the description box below, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.